Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Infinite Chains podcast. We're here today. We've got an exciting show. I'm really pumped to have Harrison from NFTrade here today. SKALE just went live on NFTrade last week, so we're pumped about it. And it was a great launch, but it was just the start of what I think is going to be a huge partnership and a huge area of support and value for the entire Scaleverse ecosystem. Now, hey, so we're going to get into intros here in a second, but we have a different format today for those of you that listen. Sydney is joining me, and Sydney will be joining me from now on the Infinite Chains podcast. Hey, Sydney.
Hey guys, how's it going? Super happy to be here.
So most of you probably know Sydney from the weekly updates and the content she writes and the other communications work she does at SKALE. But Sydney, do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been in the crypto industry now for 6 years coming up, which feels like a lifetime at this point, but joined SKALE 5 months ago now it's been, which time's flying, and doing content and communications for the team. So again, super happy to be here and, be part of the community.
Yeah. So, and Sydney, she has a great, 6 years in crypto is a long time. Okay. For anybody, and has an awesome background working at Gemini. And I think, one of the reasons why she's here today and why she'll be on the podcast is she has a perspective from, coming from centralized, what I call centralized crypto land to now into the builder world. And has a really good perspective on, I think, on how both pieces of the industry operate and function. And she's dove in headfirst into this, dApp builder ecosystem and an Ethereum ecosystem. So anyways, it'll be fun to have her here. And all right, well, let's get into it. Harrison, would love, please introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about NFTrade.
Yeah, sure. So just wanted to start off. Thanks, Jack and Sydney, for having me. My name is Harrison Seletsky. I'm the head of growth and strategy at NFTrade. Came on to NFTrade about 2 years ago when we were on testnet. Now we're live on 7 mainnets, with SKALE being our most recent. NFTrade is a decentralized and non-custodial multi-chain NFT marketplace. We really cover the entire NFT lifecycle, from creating, launching, buying, selling, trading, and even earning NFTs. So we want to create one simple interface, one infrastructural platform that allows anyone to access all of their NFTs in a single place, regardless of the type of NFT, regardless of the chain, or what they want to do with it. So yeah, we've been building in the space for a while, started a lot of really unique features that we kind of brought first to market, and been working with a lot of NFT communities from the very beginning. So yeah, happy to be members of the Scaleverse now and getting into new ecosystems and new potential use cases.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And so NFTrade has been a pioneer in terms of technical innovation for NFT marketplaces. So can you tell us about NFTrade's vision and what differentiates NFTrade from others in the space?
Yeah, so we really want to be that one-stop shop where, regardless of what you need to do with your NFTs, regardless of what chain, you'll be able to facilitate that on NFTrade in a simple and easy to use way. So any wallet, any blockchain, utility NFT, gaming NFT, collectible, you can access everything in one place. We have a very active community, specifically in the gaming and collectible spaces, across these different layer ones, as well as layer twos now, like Immutable X and parachains, side chains. So we're really getting a lot of very technical crypto users that are very interested in the space on the ground floor. We've also pioneered a lot of really interesting applications that haven't really been offered on other NFT marketplaces, with one of the first being our peer-to-peer swapping. So being able to trade NFTs in the same way you would as a Pokemon card, or as you would, with traditional gaming items where you're trading the items directly. Before NFTrade, you would have to go into a Discord or a Telegram. You would have to hope that the other party you're trading with doesn't take advantage of you. And now you can do this in a fully trustless manner. So we think as gaming becomes more important in the crypto space and becomes more popular, that's going to be a super important tool. We also have different applications like NFT farming. So this is a stake to earn application, allowing users to stake native tokens, whether that be ecosystem tokens and gaming tokens, etc. Then they can earn different NFTs within those ecosystems or from their partners. So just a really cool way to get users involved in the NFT space, regardless of if they're doing it for free, if they're selling it, if they want to speculate, if they want to get deeper involved in an ecosystem. So really just trying to provide those tools and that infrastructure to make it easy as possible.
Awesome. Awesome. I think that's a good segue into the next question. And, you know, one of my beliefs around NFT marketplaces is NFT marketplaces to date really service the audiences that are brought to those marketplaces. So obviously every NFT marketplace has its own community, but it's also really connected and to the ecosystems that it supports. So, and I almost think of it as, I had a tweet storm about this a while ago, calling it BYOU. You have to kind of bring your own users. And if you look at OpenSea, for example, 99.95% of all trading volume on OpenSea, it comes from the top 30 collectibles. And it's people trading apes and punks and meebits and creeps and you name it. And so when and I think there's the last I checked, there were over 35 million NFTs on OpenSea. And so they will highlight things on the homepage, and there might only be, even on the homepage, there might only be like 5 or 10 sales a day. And so the point is just going to a marketplace doesn't bring a huge amount of business. If you're an NFT artist, if you're a collectible group, you're like, oh, great, we're on the front page of OpenSea, the biggest NFT marketplace. Well, guess what? It's not going to do anything for you. And so I've always had a belief that the world's leading marketplace will be one that, has a community and has its own action and volume, but two, can, almost be a back end to other communities and other user groups. And so I think that's a long segue into really the product that you've built. And I think what, is the future of NFT marketplaces will be the back end, because, it's not like, it's like shopping. You go to the mall, but, hey, everybody in the mall, if you want to buy shoes, you're not going to go to, a perfume store, right? Or the food court. And, and the thing is, so I think the point is there's going to be specialized front ends, but why do these stores at the mall, they all pay a fee to use the physical space of the mall. They don't own the space. They don't own the checkout materials. They're, what they have is their own community and their own aesthetic and their own segmented audience. And so can you talk a little bit about what you're building with the SDK and the white label product?
Yeah, so I think you totally hit the nail on the head. Even now, we kind of approach our go-to-market strategy as a B2B2C one, where we're targeting different games, different projects to integrate their communities. I think what you said about the mall makes perfect sense in terms of liquidity, right? So like the mall is bringing all of that users, providing that liquidity to the end product. So I might want to get a Nike item as well as other items from different collections or different brands. And you go to the mall as that one infrastructure, that one base layer to access these different products or brands you wanted to get into in the first place. So what we're doing that kind of emulates that is our marketplace as a service SDK. So this essentially repackages our backend and our smart contracts to create a no-code NFT marketplace solution where any game, exchange, wallet, brand, etc., can set up their own native blockchain and NFT marketplace. And what's really cool, besides having everything in-house and being able to earn transaction fees and royalties, providing for your community, it's also built on a shared order book. So every marketplace that launches will have automatic liquidity based on other marketplace listings right at launch. So if they want to list multiple collections, or if they want to host all of the SKALE NFTs on their marketplace, they would be able to automatically aggregate all of those listings from NFTrade and other NFT marketplaces built on the protocol right at launch. So it allows you to keep everything in-house and build that really customized solution, but you're not isolating your community or your collection away from the broader NFT ecosystem. So we think this is going to be really exciting, especially in the gaming and utility sectors, where they're going to want their own bespoke branded marketplaces, but they'll also want to be able to branch off and get access to new users, new ecosystems, new customer bases, which they'll be able to through this shared liquidity.
Okay, so I want to try to summarize that back and just make in like the simplest way possible, so people listening, we're all on the same page. And then I have a follow-on question before we move to the next question. So one, what you're doing is you're providing really the smart contracts, the back-end processing, the servers, really it's a marketplace in a box. And if I'm a game, I could, have, everybody just go to NFTrade, or I could have, really NFTrade in a box, and it still uses NFTrade on the back end. On the front end, I could be Epic Games or Riot Games and have have a big Fortnite or whatever marketplace, but I don't have to build my own marketplace back end, because smart contract engineers are expensive, security is difficult, and you basically give it to them, and overnight somebody could kind of pop up a world-class NFT marketplace. Is that accurate?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, all you need is a front-end developer to customize it to fit your branding and theme. We're also going to be releasing templates as well. So it'll really be a full drag and drop, NFTrade, NFT marketplace in a box, where you pick and choose the wallets you want to support, the chains you want to support, whether you want to support your own singular collection or multiple ecosystem collections. So it'll kind of be like a Shopify type front, where you just customize what you need depending on your audience. You can customize it based on different templates, or you can build out your own, and you can really have all the infrastructural needs taken care of without any blockchain coding required.
Yeah, that's awesome. So my follow-on question was going to be just that. So when Scale was launching, we had an initiative in the Scale community to really support artists, which is a different segmentation than the collectible units or gaming that Scale also supports. But really just people are putting art on chain and creating digital art NFTs. And what the Calypso community wanted to do, which is the chain name for the Scale NFT hub, it's called Calypso, was to have a front end on the NFTrade that was Calypso art. But when we were doing this, it was like all of a sudden it was like a 2-week turnaround. But and the templates weren't there yet. But so that was going to be my question, like, when do you expect these templates to be here, so that people listening, we've got a lot of builders out there, a lot of developers who could say, okay, great, I can really just kind of take your pieces and almost like a Wix or Squarespace or these kind of WYSIWYG website builders, you could almost WYSIWYG an NFT marketplace. Do you have any time frame on when that might be ready? Just rough estimates.
Yeah, so from a rough estimate perspective, probably around Q2 of next year, maybe Q1. We're still building out the infrastructural side. It's live, but just adding new features, working with our core developers now to make sure their marketplaces are fitting their needs and what they're looking for. So that's going to come slightly further down the line. We're definitely right now focusing on just making sure the infrastructure is available and that front-end developers across different communities can get the most out of it, and the templates will definitely come further.
Got it. Okay, great. So for you guys, so essentially right now, today though, people, if they have a front-end developer, if you can build connections, you can write to the back end. That's ready.
Yeah, so
okay.
We have marketplaces live on the protocol. NFTrade, we recently released our 2.0 about a month and a half ago. We built that entirely on our SDK. So that can really give you an idea of the customization or what your own marketplace can look like just by going to nftrade.com. But yeah, we have exchanges,
Great.
2 exchanges already launching. We're just waiting for their go ahead to make that announcement, as well as a couple games and gaming infrastructure projects. So NFT aggregators, wallets, exchanges, marketplaces, brands, really there's so many different verticals that can use this and build their own custom solution without like having to have that base technological barrier from the security side, from the actual development side. That time and effort can all be bypassed.
That's awesome. Okay. Really exciting.
Sorry, Jack. So just to switch gears here a bit, and speak more to the broader NFT ecosystem, how do you see NFTs revolutionizing gaming, music, art? We've already seen it, but what's your position on it?
Yeah, so I think traditionally gaming, music, and art don't really have a lot of crossover, but the one aspect that NFTs bring value to them is through that verifiable unique ownership. So I think the gaming side, where there's objective value to NFTs based on what they can do within different ecosystems, is a much easier way to understand the value of those NFTs. And having a base standardized protocol where you can swap those NFTs, use them in different games, trade them with whoever you want anywhere in the world, just creating that mobility and that sovereignty for the end user has a lot of value. So a lot of these really robust games, these AAA games, might take 3 to 5 years to fully develop, and a lot of them have been building for the last 2 years or so. So I think we're really going to start seeing a lot of these games come to fruition in the next few years, hopefully this year as well, really building out what everyone's waiting for in terms of like a high quality game where users have full control. So I think the ownership, the verifiable ownership of the digital asset is really where the value comes in. And whether that's something more subjective like art or music, or more objectively valued like a gaming or utility NFT, that's where the value is going to go in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hey, Sydney, I think we should move. Why don't you go and you can take the last, or let's talk about scale. Let's shift over to that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, why has NFTrade decided to partner with SKALE?
Yeah, so SKALE is our 7th mainnet integration. Definitely a few reasons. One, having a gasless ecosystem is very valuable, especially for applications that require high throughput, like games, like a social platform or something. So that'll make it a lot easier to entice new users or just regular users to conduct these transactions and to facilitate transactions on the chain. Beyond that, you also have a very interesting ecosystem model in terms of your base chains as well as your semi-permissioned chains, such as the Calypso chain, the Europa chain. You have that base layer of decentralization, but different projects can take it to a new level, create their own ecosystem on top of it, and then decide how they want to operate within their community. So is this something they want to make fully open? Do they need to have control over certain aspects? I think this is going to be very important for Web2 and traditional brands to make that bridge, because they are going to want to retain control over certain aspects while making others open. So a semi-permission chain gives people a lot of opportunities that might be a little harder to facilitate on, just through a smart contract, where you can't really build that ecosystem as much, where you have a native gas token or people can build on top of it in a more composable way. So SKALE just offers a really unique ecosystem model that we think is going to be very enticing.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're also excited about partnering with you, and I just want to say the fun thing about SKALE is that it's really an ecosystem and a platform for chains. And so we talked a little bit about the SDK being, the back end and just marketplace as a service. Well, that's what SKALE chains are, and there's already 18 of them where some of the world, like major companies like Fireside, which is Mark Cuban and Fallon Fatemi's Web2 interactive media platform, they're building a Web3 component. And, they were going to go either have to deploy to another chain that's crowded and has, for the type of volume they need, and and the gas fees was just undoable. But instead they have their own chain. They're going to have a Fireside chain, and they don't need to have the smart contract developers. They don't need to recruit the validators. It's just, plug and play. So I think both of us have a similar perspective on growth. And, these are not new ideas. We've seen this, in B2B and SaaS and consumer internet platform approaches are, for a long time have been, hugely successful. So excited that we're both, I'd say, marching the same direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about offering ecosystem infrastructure products as a service, so anyone can build their own ideas as easy as possible. So yeah, I would say we do align there, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. We're going to close up here. So first thing, anything special you want to announce to listeners today?
Come check out all your Scale NFTs on NFTrade right now. If you're an artist, get in touch with us. We can help you with the creation, buying, selling, launching, trading. If you're interested in the marketplace as a service, also reach out as well. Everything's open source, so we can give you all the tools, but also happy to consult when needed. So yeah, I mean, markets are tough, but good projects are still building. We're building for when the market comes back, for when those new users are coming. So we're still excited as ever and looking forward to what the whole ecosystem holds.
Awesome. And for those of you that maybe went to NFTrade and bridged over to Scale, I'd say there are improvements that probably are deployed by now if you're listening by the time this goes live, where you'll be directed to a landing page that gives you a little more information on how to use Metaport. So when you bridge over to Scale, it will be incredibly easy soon. Right now you have to do a quick hop, but there's a wizard and a landing page that will help you facilitate that for you to make that a little more easy. But we recommend you go over there, check it out. I was just pumped about the amount of art and collectibles that went on the Scale NFTrade launch and section of their marketplace. So please go check that out. Last question. Where can people go to follow the project? How can they learn more other than obviously the website, but where can they be a part of the community?
Yeah, so follow us everywhere at NFTrade Official, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever your preferred social media of choice. We're very active within our community. So if you have any questions or just want to chat, Telegram or Discord are always open. And then also Twitter. Doing a lot of stuff with Scale, different NFT collections, and just throughout the NFT ecosystem. So if you're looking for insight as well as just want to hang out, have some fun, come check us out.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here with us today, Harrison. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, Jack and Sydney. Really appreciate it.
All right, this has been fun. Thank you. All right, everybody, thanks for listening.